All right, so look, the idea about let go and let God is not about giving up responsibility. It's not about throwing your life into the hands of some sky daddy in the clouds. It's not about bowing down to a cosmic dictator on a throne. It's not about abandoning your will, your mind, your power, so that you can sit back helpless waiting on a savior that is never coming. No, the real meaning of let go and let God is about letting go of the false mask. The ego, the program that has you thinking that you are separate from all this shit, and letting the infinite self, the same consciousness behind your mask, my mask, everyone else's mask, letting that infinite self step forward, because what people call God out there is really the expanded expression of the self behind the mask, the self within, the universal mind dreaming through us all. That's the truth. And if you can't face it, you will be stuck in this matrix, enslaved by the illusion. The God that you're waiting for is already here. It's you. And no, not the small broken you with a social security number and a job. No, not the mask you've been programmed to wear since birth. I'm talking about the infinite self behind that mask. The real you before you were born. The you after you die. The you that exists outside of time and space. That's the true God. And it's not just behind your mask. It's behind my mask. It's behind every face that you see on this planet. One universal mind. One dreamer. One infinite self playing billions of roles. That's not a metaphor. That's the mechanics of this reality. That's what oneness really means. So this life, this world is a dream. You and I are the characters. We look separate because the dream needs roles to play. But the dreamer behind them all is one. So praying to a God outside of yourself is like praying to another character in the dream, trying to get it to wake you up, when neither can do it. They're both a part of the dream. Only the dreamer behind them both can wake them up. And that dreamer is the same infinite self wearing every mask. You don't believe me? Science already proves it. Quantum physics proves that before observation, everything exists in an infinite quantum wave. One undivided wave. One field. Consciousness collapses it into form. There is no separation between the observer and the observed. Ancient wisdom said it a long time ago. As above, so below. I and the Father are one. The all is mind. Different languages, same truth. Consciousness is the foundation. The mind is the builder. Reality is the expression. But the one just couldn't sit in eternity being everything. It wanted to experience itself in pieces and fragments and masks. That's why the demiurge system exists. The veil, the archetypes, the illusion of separation. It's the stage, the costumes, the script. Without it, the one couldn't taste being the many. The infinite couldn't feel what it's like to be finite. God couldn't look at himself from 10,000 different angles. So this demiurge is a necessary part of the cosmic drama. But the danger is that you forgot. You mistook the stage for the whole reality. You got lost in the role. You started thinking that the mask was all that there is. And that's the trap. That's the forgetting. But the hidden function of this whole system isn't just to make you forget. It's to give you the chance to remember. And here's the revelation that shatters the illusion. The self behind your mask is the same force behind the cosmos. That's what people have always called God. The power that ignited stars and spun galaxies, pulled the tides, blossomed the roses out of the dirt. That force is not separate from you. It is you, the one infinite self, hiding in flesh and thought, pretending to be small so it can remember its own greatness. Now, the phrase should make sense. Let go means to let go of the mask, let go of the ego, let go of the idea that you are powerless and separate. Let God means let the infinite self, that's behind the mask, the dreamer behind the mask, the same self behind all masks. Let that infinite self step forward and run the show. That's not weakness. That's not passivity. That's the only true power. But as long as you continue to give your power to a God outside of yourself, then you'll always stay a character begging another character to fix the script. You stay enslaved. You stay praying instead of creating. You stay asleep in the dream. So wake up. You are the dreamer. When you align with the one self behind all masks, you're not just aligning for yourself, because it's the same self behind everyone. Every awakening ripples through the dream. Enough of us remember, and the matrix can't hold. The spell breaks, the old world dies, and the new one begins. But don't mistake that for the end. That's the part that people miss. The obvious question is, what happens when everyone wakes up? And here's the truth. It's not the finish line. It's the opening of a new chapter. When enough of us wake up, the unconscious dream dissolves and the lucid dreams begin. The world doesn't stop, it transforms. The old systems, built on fear and separation, can't survive because their fuel is gone. In their place rises a world that is shaped by awareness, by unity, by beings who know that they are the same self behind all the masks. Creation doesn't end. Creation evolves. That's why prophecy doesn't speak of destruction, but of a new heavens and a new earth. That's why all the greatest teachers spoke about renewal and rebirth, because infinity can't be exhausted. The source never runs out of ways to know itself. One cycle closes, another one opens, and the spiral keeps rising. So what happens when everyone wakes up? We don't disappear, we graduate. We co-create consciously. We build societies, art, technology, even the rules of physics themselves from a place of awareness instead of amnesia. We move into higher levels of play, higher octaves of the same song. And when that cycle fulfills itself, another one begins. There's always another level. There's always another way for the infinite to experience its own infinity. So that's the big picture. Awakening isn't the end of the play. It's the curtain rising on the next act. The prophecy fulfilled is not game over. It's the game leveled up. So stop waiting on a savior. The only savior that's coming is already inside of you. The same infinite self that wears your mask wears mine. The same one that fuels the stars fuels your breath. So the idea is to let go of the mask. Let God, the infinite self behind every mask, take its place. That's the revolution of consciousness. That's the jailbreak from the matrix. That's how we survive this collapse and thrive in the chaos and birth the new world that is waiting to come through us. So wake up. This is the code. This is the key. Let go. Let God. I hope now that phrase makes a lot more sense now. Thanks for watching. Peace.